What's going on, world? I'm Wesley from Aconnectiontv, the network, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And I am finally here with none other than Miss Jonica, Miss Blue from season 12 BGC. What's going on, young lady?
How you doing?
I'm great. You seem to be like the fan fave, like the ringleader, like the troublemaker from this season. There's a lot of titles attached to your
I'm
name.
everything. I'm like some all-purpose.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
They
that's
they some of them, half of them hate me, half of them love me, but
right. Okay. So I got quite a few questions to ask you. Some of the questions coming from the people that watch this particular show. So hopefully we can get through all of these questions. But my first question is, what made you to decide to do Bad Girls Club?
Well, I was in the system because Bunny Mari. I don't know how they pronounce that, but once I would try to do like Real World years ago, and like I was 21 or something, maybe like 18. But I was in the system. And once you're in the system, emails still keep coming through year round. And what they call, I made whatever it was I was doing, I made it. But I told them I wanted to graduate. I had summer school, I think, so I just chose to pass up on it. Ended up getting an email for BGC 12, and I submitted my papers, and I skipped like the whole process and like went straight to like the third interview or something. So I didn't think I was going to make it.
Okay. What made you decide to do Bad Girls? But did you consider yourself to be a bad girl? Did you see the show prior?
No, I should have watched it. But rule number one: watch something before you go do it. I've heard of it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen an episode or two. I think I seen the episode with Tanisha hitting the pans. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I've never watched the full season. I never watched multiple episodes, anything like that. So
Okay.
I should have watched it.
Yeah. Is there an age difference from the time you were on the show till now?
Yeah, I was 25 when I did the show, and now I'm 26. My birthday March the 16th.
Okay. Okay. What does your family and friends think about this whole Bad Girls Club thing and you being on it?
Oh, I mean, they support me regardless of anything I do. Family and friends. As far as family goes, I had to tell my parents, like, look, I did what y'all asked me to do. Y'all asked me to be the first person in the family to graduate college. I did that. So I played basketball all my life. I did everything according to what I was supposed to do. So now it's like I'm just living.
Okay. Okay. Would you do it all over again? The Bad Girls Club experience?
Of course, yeah, I would. I would.
Okay.
I feel like every thousands of people try out for that, and I happen to make it. I mean, it sucks for the people that really, really want it bad, and for somebody like me to make it, but shit.
Right.
It's cool.
Okay. Thinking about all the girls from season 12, which girls would you pick to be the first 7 in the house out of all of the girls that were a part of this cast?
That was a part of our cast?
Yeah. Which, out of all the girls, which 7 would you choose to be the first original girls?
Everybody that was original except Lindsay, I would have put Asia in her spot.
Okay. Okay, cool. This season they had y'all meet outside of the house first, with you being the last female to enter the scene. What was going through your mind when you walked up and saw all the girls?
Honestly, it was like you almost scared because you know that you're finally walking into something totally different. So it was a lot of different emotions, excited, happy, nervous, different things. But it's just like walking into class on the first day. You
Right.
gotta adjust to things.
Okay. What were your first impressions of the girls?
They were all cool. Jada was flirting with me hella hard. So up on the rooftop, like hella hard. Her and Red was flirting with me very hard. So that was pretty cool. I think I was talking to Lindsay for a little bit on the rooftop. Me and Lo wasn't cool. We kind of bumped into each other at the airport prior, so we peeped that and we kept it pushing. So me and Lo wasn't cool at all, but everybody else was like, pretty cool.
Interesting. Do you think Lindsay is really crazy or is she just misunderstood?
When I say people are crazy, it's just a figure of speech, something you throw out there. I don't really think people are crazy. I think people are different, and that's really what it is. She's different. Now that ain't a good different or a bad different. It's just a different. You know what I'm saying? You can take
Right.
a different ass over there type shit.
Right. Okay. When you finally get to the house, what were your first thoughts about the house?
Well, shit, it was a fight before we got there in the limo.
Right.
So I'm just thinking, what in the hell did I get myself into? And that's pretty much all I could think about. A big house. One thing I can say is I'd rather live in a box with my family than live in a mansion with strangers.
Okay. Makes sense, though. That definitely does make sense. What did you think about Lindsay after she left? Like, were you excited to get a new roommate?
Um, it wasn't more. I wasn't excited to get a new roommate. I was excited to get rid of that.
Really?
I couldn't sleep with a person like that in the house.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay. So, what was it about Slim that aggravated you at this particular moment when Lindsay is gone? Okay. People in the house are starting to feel some sort of way about Slim. What was it about Slim that aggravated you?
Slim was my roommate. So Slim wasn't. Slim was very annoying, but Slim was more like a little sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck away from me, but better not nobody else touch you. You get what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
we was in Slim's hometown. She had some beef out there, some girl, and Slim was scared of the girl, to be honest. But everybody in the house made sure that that girl wasn't gonna touch Slim. You get what I'm saying? So
Okay.
Slim played this role as if everyone wasn't taking up for her. Every time, no matter how she was treated in the house, when we was in the club, we already to bump with this girl like you got Slim fucked up. We might not like Slim, but you not finna touch Slim. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's how it really was with her. She did a lot of fake annoying stuff, and I mean, you couldn't really put your finger on it. I knew from the beginning Slim was like doing some fake shit, but I didn't get confirmation until I was waiting for confirmation. And the second I got it, it's the second I'm like, okay, she gotta go. Because I knew that it was there. I didn't want to, I like to have proof. I like fact over feelings. So although I felt she was fake, I didn't have facts for it. So that's why
Okay.
when
Because
Jada told me all that.
one of my questions was gonna be about that within regards between Asia versus Slim, because there was one point in the house where you definitely defended Asia against the girls, but it never seemed like you really defended Slim. So why do you think that is? Is that because you felt something was off with her in your relationship, or what was that
Well,
about?
like, as far as Slim goes, when she got into it with Lo that night and Lo was like yelling at her in the phone booth room,
Right.
I was asleep. That's why I'm nowhere to be found. I was asleep. So I don't know what happened for all that to take place.
Okay.
So I didn't, I missed out on all that, and I knew that Slim had been doing little fake shit prior to that. So I couldn't interfere with something I didn't know completely about. As far as Asia go, I knew the only people that had a reason to dislike Asia was me and Lo. Nobody else. Nobody had when Asia first came in the house, because Asia asked me and Lo a question. Asia said, while we were in the club, she was like, "Who y'all think the first gonna go home? I mean, who y'all think the next person to go home is?"
Right.
And then Lo was like, Jada, and I'm like, "Yeah, I think Jada." But we wasn't saying Jada because of we sending that bitch home. It was like because she keep getting in all these fights, and she just ain't, either she gonna get put out for fighting, or because if you fight too hard, you gotta go home. So I'm like, either she gonna get put out for fighting or just too much drama with her, so she might want to go home. She might be the next one. Well, in that, when Jada and Asia got in a fight, Asia said that in a like it was said in a malicious way. So Lo, that's why Lo has so much beef with Asia, because she like, but Asia walked in the house literally when Asia was in the house for maybe 5 minutes, and all she started saying is, "Yeah, my friend tried out for Bad Girls Club, and I know all her business, and she was a replacement. How she feel because I'm a replacement? This, just came in talking shit about her friend, who I guess was a replacement on another show. I mean, on another season."
Okay.
So Lo already felt. So Lo already felt that she was kind of fake.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
So
Real interesting. Okay. In the beginning of this interview, you stated that you and Jada kind of flirted, or Jada kind of flirted with you on the rooftop, and then on the reunion, we find out that y'all kind of flirted heavily throughout the house. Was the
Yes,
flirtation, was the flirting happening between you and Jada before Asia got there, or was it still continuing once Asia got there?
throughout the house.
So the whole season, the whole time, you was flirting with Asia and Jada.
Look, for instance, one day I was hold on one second. Are you okay when I'm doing this interview? Is it pretty? You okay? Okay, cool. Thank you. So for instance, I was playing with Asia, and she was like, "Get out my bed, Blue," and I said, "All right." And I went. That's why I was in Jada bed. They showed the clip.
Ah,
Well, Jada was saying, "Blue, you better get out my bed," but the whole time she was like rubbing on me under the covers and stuff.
ah,
So we flirted throughout the whole time, but that goes back to show Asia say dumb stuff like she like, well, she flirted in my face. Like, hey girl, don't just it didn't make sense. My thing is when you talk, make sense. I don't care if people like what you say or not, just make sense.
right. I was kind of confused about the whole situation too because on one side she said that she didn't know, but then she said that she flirted in front of my face, and then that whole situation was confusing. So I guess my next question for you would be, when Asia gets to the house, like, were you immediately attracted to her? Did you really start wanting to do something with her? Like, how did y'all relationship started?
She was cute, so I knew she thought I was cute. So you know what I'm saying? I thought she was cute, so of course we were gonna start flirting. You get what I'm saying? We went
Right.
to a club, we flirt. We went actually went to a gay club, so it made it more easy to flirt. You know, so it's something that just happened. You know.
Okay. What is your version of the situation that sparked between the house and Asia that night her and Jada fought? Because I heard various stories about that night. So how did you see that happening and the reason for them fighting?
Um, we we was upstairs. I guess we left them. They wanted to stay upstairs and smoke at the club, and then we went downstairs. They were still upstairs, and we got a call. Well, production started saying it's time to go. We have to leave. So we didn't know what happened. We see Jada and we see Asia. I honestly, man, I blow. So I don't remember who said they
Right.
who got hit first. I don't know what happened. But I know when we got to the house, they started fighting or whatever. I didn't understand why they was fighting. Um, they got ready to. They was trying to put Asia out, and I was just sitting there watching. Everybody, you know, Asia went and got. They put her stuff in the hallway. Asia went and got her stuff and was like, "I'm not putting my stuff in. You know, I'm not leaving. If y'all put me out, y'all gonna have to physically remove me." And then I think I stepped outside and talked to Asia. Red stepped outside and talked. It was like a big blur. Like I didn't understand what it was for.
Okay. Okay. What is your definition of a relationship?
I feel like a relationship is two people that love each other and they care for each other. Um, because you know you can have a relationship with your parents, your cousins, your grandparents. You know, as
Okay.
long as you love each other, you're good to go.
Okay. What was your understanding, or what understanding did you and Diamond have while you were in the house?
She knew I was going in there to do me. I said to Diamond before I went in the house, I said, "Would you like to be in a relationship?" She said no. I said, "Okay." I said, "The only way I will do right by you while I'm in this house is if I'm in a relationship." She said no. I said, "Okay." I went in the house. We still had the feel. Just because you don't have a title doesn't mean the feelings aren't there.
Right.
So the feelings were still there. However, it was also a cushion for me to do what I wanted to do.
Okay.
That's why I wasn't afraid to tell her, like, yes, I'm cuddling with her. Yes, I'm sleeping with her. Yes, I'm kissing her. I didn't lie about it. It was just something I didn't feel the need to tell.
Okay. That was going to be my next question. Were you always honest in your response to any question Diamond asked you regarding Asia?
I was honest for the most part. When we came down to like, did y'all, you know, have sex? And I was like, no. She asked me this outside of the house. This no, technically I didn't lie. The question was, look, watch this. No, watch this. She said, "Did you have sex with Asia in the house?" And I said, "No, I did not have sex with Asia in the house. Me and Asia only had sex twice. It was once in Barcelona where I kicked it with her, and then it was the other time in the hotel after we got out the house. Like our last day in the house, they took all of us to a hotel where me and Asia went in the same room, and she kicked it with me when she came home from the club. That's it, 2 times. And
Uh-huh.
so that I could have. Don't get me wrong, I could have been very honest with her. I knew what she was asking me, but I played on her words. She was like, "Did you have sex with Asia in the house?" And I said, "No, I did not have sex with Asia in the house." That's
Okay.
not right.
Okay. Did you at any point think that Diamond and Asia would come to blows, crossing each other in the house?
Um, Man, no, Diamond not about that life. So no, Diamond don't get down like that. Like, love her to death, and me and Diamond, we're cool, we're cordial. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, I'm not gonna ever let anything happen to her. But she's not about that fight life. So what she did at the reunion shocked me. That's why I said to Lo, "Damn, you did say Diamond was gonna beat her ass," but I was more mad because Asia didn't defend herself. Like, why wouldn't you if somebody hit me, I'm hitting you back. Like, that's just a natural given.
Right, right. Okay. So since we talking about the reunion real quick, that was one of my questions. Your attitude towards Diamond seemed a bit off. Seemed like y'all had some
Bro,
animosity toward each other, or you had animosity toward her, and it seemed like you didn't really care about what she had to say at the reunion. But when
didn't
she
know
came to
why she was there.
blows, go ahead.
Wesley, bruh, I don't even know why she was there.
Okay.
Me and Diamond wasn't cool. We fell out bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? To the point, we fell out over something very serious to where I knew then that we would never be in a relationship. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
This real life, off cameras. We fell out. So I didn't understand why I hadn't talked to her. Next thing you know, she in LA, and I'm just like, what are you here for? So yeah, of course, I'm not finna fake for the cameras just because all this going on. We still beefing back in St. Louis. So what are you here for? You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's what that was. It was very off. If you see, notice, first of all, I had on heels, a dress. I looked very cute. So with that being said, I was not trying to get up and get in no kind of fights with anybody, you know?
Right.
But I did get up and say, hey, y'all shouldn't fight. It's gonna look like it's over me. She said, this has nothing to do with you. And she like put me in my place. And I'm like, girl, whatever. Like, Diamond, you not about this life, so I don't really know what you're doing. I really thought her and Asia was gonna have a bang out session once they started fighting. I did not think Asia wasn't gonna fight back. However, that didn't have anything to do with me. Like, they was a one-on-one fight. They could have fought all day with each other. That had nothing to do with me.
Okay. So even with your animosity that you had towards one another, what compelled you to get up to fight for Diamond?
It's a thing called loyalty, and I don't know how everybody else hometown is, but St. Louis, that's how we ride. Like, and not even St. Louis, my family, my heart, my, you know what I'm saying, my character, who I am. If they would have had a one-on-one fight, they could have fought all day on that stage. If you notice, I was sitting there watching, I was laughing. I'm like, why are they fighting? This is so stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
However, Jada, you are not a security guard. So when she get up, she didn't get up and grab Diamond. She got up and pulled Diamond by her hair. So out of respect for myself and my hometown, I'm not about to let y'all jump her. She like, well, I was trying to break it up because Asia wanted to fight back. You not a security guard, so you not finna break nothing up. I didn't fight Asia. I stole Asia. I didn't fight Jada. I stole Asia. Stole Jada one time, and that's it. I pulled her to the back to get off the Diamond. So it wasn't. I wasn't trying. I didn't have an issue with Jada. You're just not about to jump in this one-on-one fight. Well, the security didn't come. That has nothing to do with you. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That has nothing to do with you. Yeah, me and Diamond not cool, but ain't nobody about to touch her. Like, in no jumping format. And like I told Asia after the whole thing, I said, had Diamond came to that reunion with one of her friends, and Diamond and Asia started fighting, and one of her friends jumped in to jump Asia, I would have fought Diamond friend. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all not
Okay.
gonna jump her. If y'all want
Okay.
to be stupid and have a one-on-one fight, do that. But you are not about to jump in and jump her. That's just bottom line.
Okay. I can respect that. So going back to the house real quick. Let's see, where am I at? Miss Asia and Blue. Y'all had this crazy kind of love affair going on throughout the whole damn season, okay? And there was a period where the girls was really, 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 really attacking Asia, going hard on Asia. Even in Lake Geneva, they was going hard on Asia. Why was it so easy for you to defend her? Was it because you liked her, or was it because you honestly felt that it was wrong what they were doing to her and how they were talking to her?
Both. I felt like you clearly when Brit don't like somebody, she don't like you. That's I don't care if you like Brit or don't like Brit. You gotta respect her for being true to how she feels. If she don't like you, she don't like you, flat out. So she didn't like Asia. I had to talk to Brit and I said, why don't you like Asia? She named, I'm not gonna name the things why. I can't right now. I said I'm not gonna name the reasons why she didn't damn, little boy didn't F my train of thought up. But no, oh yeah, I'm not gonna name the reasons why she didn't like Asia because there were personal things with her sister as well. But after she named everything, I explained to Britt. I said, if someone treated your sister the way you treat Asia, how would you feel? And she was like, damn, I never looked at it like that. And I'm like, so that's how I talked to her about it. I'm like, y'all treating her bad. You saying she don't have this and she look like this. How you know those are things she can't control? Like, you know, the reason you don't like her, Brit, is not a good enough reason for you to treat her the way you're treating her. That was my whole, expression on the thing.
Okay.
So when we was in Lake Geneva, on the way, they didn't show this, but on the way there, they were talking about putting her out when we get back home, like fighting her, jumping her type shit. So my whole thing while we were in Lake Geneva was I have to get them off of Asia case. If Asia has to fight one out, she could fight one of them by herself, but I don't want her to be against, have three people against her.
Right.
And I talked to Lo. I'm like, Lo, you don't have to talk to her. Like, if you don't like her, don't like her and keep it pushing. Just because you don't like somebody don't mean you have to fight them. Just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean you can't tolerate being in their presence. I don't like my boss when I had a job. That doesn't mean I can't talk to him every day, respect him, and go on about my business.
Right.
That comes down to maturity.
Okay. Okay, I can respect that. There was a moment when you said that you didn't care about being a part of Fab Four. Why was that?
I don't do gangs and sororities and stuff like that. That's never been my thing. I like to stand alone. I rock alone. However, we were playing around and said Fab Four on some silly stuff, but that stuff really didn't mean anything. We said triple threat, that didn't mean nothing. We said double trouble, that didn't mean nothing. At the end of the day, each individual was who they was. So that's the only thing that stood for something and meant anything.
Okay. What is it about Jonica that makes the girls putty in her hands?
I don't think that be the case.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I just be myself. That's just bottom line. Because I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't have to answer to you. If you like me, that's what's up. Let's go, roll with me. If you don't, that's cool too. Stay over there. Nothing really. A person that doesn't help my future, they can't really vex my spirit. I'm good regardless.
Okay. Did you and Lauren ever try anything sexual or flirtation wise?
She cute, and we used to play and be like, I'd be like, Lo, I said, like when she asleep too long, I'd be like, Lo, you better shut up before I get into bed with you. Okay, blue, I'm finna wake up. But it was never anything like that.
Okay. So here's I'm gonna tell you straight up. When the season started, okay, I ranted and raved about you in my reviews. And then like midway into the season, it seemed like you started to shift a little bit and change. Okay. At least in my eyes, from what I was watching on the show. So my next set of questions is in regard to how I felt you started to change, and you can clarify it up for me. There was a moment where we would see you talk about disliking Jada and wanting her to be out of the house. But in talking to Jada via her interview, she never knew that from you while being in the house. Can you explain that dynamic and what was going on with you and her at that particular moment?
Um, honestly, was it in an interview? Like, when did I say? Like, you gotta refresh my memory.
Like there was I think there was at least two scenes on the show where you were like, I'm ready for her to get out the house. I'll fight her or something along those lines.
Yeah,
But
here's.
go
Okay.
ahead.
Oh, what I was saying is, you guys watched. My job was to live in this house. That was
Okay.
my job. I don't work. I got a degree in psychology. I don't have a degree in editing and film. So however it shifted was what they chose to show. If I ever said, "Oh, I want her to leave," after that, I probably said something in a joking manner or things of that nature. I personally, like, all jokes aside, I never had an issue with Jada. Jada had some fake ass ways, but I kind of liked her style. I liked her New York swag. I joked about her music and shit, but on some real shit, ask anybody. I'll be like, to this day, me and Jada not cool, but to this day, I'll be like, yeah, her rapping might not be dope, but her lyrics are tough. Listen to them. I even put her on the phone. I'm like, Tierra, this girl in the house that can sing. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was a fan of Jada's. I never had a major issue with her. However, I did say, hey man, somebody got to fight her before she leaves, playing around, because I was like, she been in too many fights in the house and she still haven't got her ass whooped and she's so little. And I'm like, damn, how she fight the biggest person in the house and she still, she still didn't get her ass whooped. So somebody better fight her. But it was all in a joking manner. However, they can make it can be perceived once they do their job, as I said it in a like a malicious way, when in all actuality it wasn't. I ain't had no issue with Jada. That's why when I hit her at the reunion, I ain't beat her ass. I just hit her to let her know you not finna do that, but I'm not trying to fight you. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. So you saying you never had like a real hardcore issue with Jada at all
No, to this
during
day I
the
still don't.
okay, okay,
She got an issue with me. Blue, fake, da da da. Man, I ain't did shit to you. Here's my thing to all the girls. We all did the same interviews. We all had the same rules. We all did everything the same. So when things are being shown on TV the way that they don't like it, it's like they forget that we all did the same things in that little room. So stop trying to front like, I don't know. It's like they forget, and this is on all the seasons. When the girl's like, "Oh my God, you said that about me," hey, stop fronting because you did the same interview I did. And I'm only saying so much without saying too much. But when they see this, if they were to hear this, they would know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I be on that stop fronting shit. Y'all doing all this. Oh, you said this. Hey man, you said it too. They probably just didn't show what you said, but you said it too. Like, come on, let's keep it funky.
okay, okay. I have to ask you about another situation that I was told you you. Let me just explain the situation where there was a huge altercation and a fight about to break out between Jada and I want to say Red or Lauren. I can't remember. It's when Britt's fiance came to the house. People were getting
Yeah.
on Britt because Britt had automatically or miraculously just woke up and wanted to fight Jada out of nowhere. But I'm hearing through the grapevine that you were the reason why she got up to fight Jada. Can you explain that situation?
Britt a grown ass woman. I ain't the reason why no grown person got up to go fight anybody. That's first and foremost.
Okay.
But Britt was in a room with her dude, and they was out there fighting, and I went in there. And here's the thing: Britt always said, "I want to fight Jada. I want to fight Jada." She not calling me out. Jada said, "I'll fight anybody in the house." So I went in there, and I'm like, "Hey, they out there fighting like that." Now, despite why I went in there, I went in there and said it, and I'm like, "Hey, they out here fighting," and she said she'll fight anybody in the house. So this your chance. Go do it. Yeah, you want to fight her. You say she don't call you out. Here it is.
Okay.
But however, but here's my thing: if you want to go fight somebody, then go out there and fight them. So Brit went out there. They was arguing shit. So when I realized it wasn't no fight about to break out, I'm like, all right, Brit, chill out. Don't even fight her. Like, forget it. It ain't finna happen. Your dude here, forget it. You get what I'm saying? I feel like if you gonna do it, go do it. I ain't have to. If you look at the reunion, I didn't say if you don't get off Diamond, I'm finna fight you. I just did it. There's
Right.
nothing to say. When you do stuff, you do it. So I went and I told Britt, y'all can call me messy. You can call me instigator. Bruh, ain't nothing else going on in this house. They not about to fight. Britt, you said you want to fight her. She said she'll fight anybody in the house.
Okay.
So that's how I played that shit. But
Okay, and y'all hearing it here on Aconnectiontv. This is her word, so y'all hearing it. Okay, at Lake Geneva, you started to see red differently. Actually, I think you started to see red differently before you got to Lake Geneva, but you heavily well, a lot of the girls heavily expressed their aggravation for red at Lake Geneva.
right.
Why did you always call Red an actress? And did you ever in the house tell Red how you felt?
Hey man, bruh. Me and Red talked in the house plenty of times. Lo was like, Blue, you can keep talking to her. I'm not going to talk to her because Red is an actress. With an actress, you don't know. Lo was scared to talk to Red because she could have been like, hey, Red, I feel like you, blah, 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 blah. And either Red was going to act and give a sob story to where when the cameras came, it would have looked like, well, I'm really working on me. I'm a work in progress. Something that looked good for cameras. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So you couldn't really put value on anything she was saying. I peeped Red because when we were in like every time something a issue would happen, Red would always involve herself. Like Red would always make herself. She would always find a way to be right there and involve herself in everything. Just so, hey, look, she watched the show. She watched all the seasons, I'm sure. She tried out twice. Her and Jada tried out twice. So they did not make it the first time. You can look at their interviews on YouTube. They were a totally different person. So if this person got cut and you made it the second time, evidently you said, okay, I'm not going to be this person. I'm going to come back and be this person. And this person made the show. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So I'm a realist when it comes to the shit. Like, y'all tried out twice. You have what's them audition tapes on there from 2 seasons. Neither one of you made it the first time, but y'all made it the second time. Your audition tapes look different. You had to go get a different character to come back. Okay, they didn't like me like this, so I'm gonna go back like this.
Okay.
So it was so that was acting to me. So in the house, I did have a talk with Red. I said exactly what I said. Red, you cool. I said, but this is why I think you're an actress and you faking. I explained it to her. She was like, I don't blame you, Blue. I understand. This what Red said. I don't blame you, Blue. I understand. She was like, I said, so I ain't gonna really be able to see the real you until we get out the house. She was like, all right. She was like, I respect that. That was that. However, just because I still think you're an actress and I think you faking doesn't mean I can't be around you. Hey, I could sit next to somebody I don't like right now. Just don't put your hands on me. And we can talk and be cool. You want some popcorn? That's maturity. Just don't put your hands on me. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people lack that. I got a degree in psych. I played, people think you play sports so that you can go to the league. No, you play sports to build character. You get what I'm saying? Evidently, Red didn't play no sport. Clearly. However, I played a sport. So with me playing my sport, it built character. There was a lot of girls on the team that I didn't like. I didn't like rules. I didn't like certain things. But it taught me how to be around different personalities. My psychology degree did help me live in that house. And everybody, a lot of young viewers watch this and they like, Blue was fake for this or Blue was fake for that. No, Blue was mature. I can be around people that I don't care for. I can mentally be around you.
Did you ever watch any of y'all's episodes?
Yeah, I did watch a few of them.
Okay, so can you understand why people would look at you differently from towards the ending of the show, from the beginning of the show? With how we saw like y'all's interactions, you and Lo, how y'all went to the restaurant and it just seemed like y'all had nothing else to do but talk about all the girls in the house. And
look, Wesley. Bruh.
Listen, we got to get the clarity on this
Bruh,
from you, okay? You got to explain it because some people don't understand. I already
hey,
said on one of my reviews, until I physically see it, I'm not going to know and I'm not going to assume. But I do know after being in film and doing the stuff that I've done that y'all don't really got shit to do in this house. So typically, stuff that you would normally do, you wouldn't normally do would happen in this house. So I get that and I understand that, but there was a clear, different Jonica from the beginning to the end. So that's what this interview is for. So you could definitely allow people to understand that there was no difference, at least not in your
hey, look,
eyes.
hey, look. The hell with people understand, and I understand. That's bottom line. But peep this, Wesley. Look, I didn't change. I did not change what I did. I was the same person. I
Okay.
did my job. My job was to live in this house. I did not change. I do not control what is seen and what isn't. That's not my job. So I expect viewers to be I'm not saying nobody's intelligent for thinking it happened this way, but sometimes think outside the box. It's okay to be smart. And I say that all the time. Sometimes think, oh, they making a TV show. Oh, okay. So if this person is really like this, we have to find some glitch in this person so that they can have a storyline. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't change who I was. They changed what they chose to show. That didn't have nothing to do with me. Do you really think, now I talked to a bitch in the house. So do you think I'm gonna go out to eat with Lo and talk about the girls in the house? No, that's not what me and Lo went out to eat. Let me tell you what Lo dumbass did. Lo dumbass had us a double date, right? But that was a double date with our two homeboys. Lo was like, Blue, they gonna feed us. And I'm like, oh, I really don't wanna go. Asia like, no, babe, go ahead and go. You know, it's gonna be fun. We knew that the two dudes always came to the house. They was our homeboys, Twine and them. They was cool. Twine and Remy. Twine and Remy. Well, Lo ain't the brightest crayon, and Twine's not the brightest crayon. Me and Remy should have communicated. So we're at the Lo, we got stood up for real. So we at the restaurant. And I'm like, Lo, where are they? She was like, well, I talked to Twine. Well, somehow Twine and Remy and Lo, nobody communicated. So between Lo and Twine, me and Lo end up being on a date by ourselves. And I said, Lo, if you want to take me out to eat, all you had to do was ask me if you had a crush on me, just jokingly.
Right.
We talked about so much stuff. They only showed that part.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And why in the hell would we sit there and talk about that? Evidently, we was nudged. Lo didn't give a fuck about the people in the house. I didn't care about the people in the house. So evidently, I'm nudged to talk about it.
I got you.
But here's the thing. I don't blame the viewers. That's why I don't trip off of how the viewers perceive things. Perceive it just as it is on TV. That's the point of a show. When you watch a movie, you don't watch the movie and think about the bloopers. You watch what they show you in the movie.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, it was just like, I'm not tripping off the viewers. I'm tripping off the girls that were in the house that act as if they wasn't in the house. That was the problem.
Okay. 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 So you definitely adding good clarification for the people that are blinded. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you for taking the time to do this interview. What was it about Red's voicemail that really got under your skin?
Because Red act like she can't talk. It's okay to be smart. You can talk. Like, it's okay. She act like she couldn't talk. So she sound very popular. I commend you. Matter of fact, good job. You're very intelligent. I didn't know. Good job. So she talking well. You hear me?
Yeah.
But forget the talking well part. That's everybody can switch their tones. Forget the talking well part. She said she missed Asia. Just a week ago, you wanted to fight Asia. But that's the part where I was showing the girls in the house. I said, I was showing Lo and Britt in Lake Geneva. I said, Red is only involved when it's a group. When it's all of you against something, then she'll be against it. And the proof was in the pudding. So when Britt realized, you know what, I'm going to leave Asia alone. And when Lo said, I'm going to leave Asia alone, Red was by herself. That's when Asia stood. And Asia knew that. That's why Asia said, well, fight me then, Red, in the kitchen. Well, pop me then. because she knew that Britt and Lo wasn't gonna jump. She knew that was between her and Red. Red realized, oh, it's just me. Okay. Red said, well, when my stomach stopped hurting, then you lucky my stomach hurt, but wait till it stopped, or whatever she said. Well, your stomach been stopped hurting and you still didn't come back and do nothing. Instead of coming back being mad and still popping Asia, you came back and said, yeah, hey, I miss you guys. I miss you, Asia and Jonica and Blue. And, you know, that was the fake part to me. It wasn't her voice. Everybody has a professional voice and they got their at-home voice. Mm-hmm. That's okay. But it was the fact that once it died down that everyone wasn't against Asia and she was by herself, she all of a sudden was okay with Asia.
Okay. Well, looking back at the BGC history and including season 12, every girl says something about somebody behind their back, apparently behind their back, on every season in every house. What was the huge difference between what Alex did to the girls in the house than what any other girl in your house has done? And why did you get so upset about finding out that Alex spoke about you behind your back?
Man, it wasn't even like on some for real stuff.
Keep it real now. Keep it real now. Come on.
No, I'm finna tell you on some for real stuff. We barely could get. Slim always liked to just be extra. I don't want to get wet. I'm on the beach. I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Just like I don't want to wear those black shorts. Yeah, I didn't see that scene. She just was always making a major issue while we were in Spain. It was always something with Slim. She was being a brat, a little bitch. She was like that the whole time. I'm not finna get Slim put out the house. She been doing my laundry. She been cooking. Like, why would I let you leave? And then that mean another person got to come live in the room with me and Lo. Well, our last day in the house trying to get back in the country, this is off camera because everybody was getting checked back there. All because Slim, dumbass, went to the front because she liked to, do everything first. And she liked to be the center of attention and be a little brat. So at the airport, she pulled one of those stunts, but it didn't go well. I want to go, went first to get her bags checked, went through customs. And they asked her, why did she have on a microphone? And instead of saying, we are on a TV show, the TV show took us out of town, she was like, I don't know. She like nutted up. Somehow they ended up running all our records. People was coming out, they was talking about they wanted to arrest us. It was a big misunderstanding where we were all back there, including production. Everybody was behind cameras. Everybody was behind customs and couldn't get out. I was the first one that walked out because I talked my way out of it. I said, hey man, look, y'all gonna let me out of here. I don't have a record. I don't have drugs or anything. But my whole point of saying is that Slim caused that whole thing to happen. Mm-hmm. Had she allowed production to go first and then call us through, it would have been a smooth selling thing. So I was irritated with that. I was the first one that made it out. Jada made it out with me. Jada made it out right after me. So when Jada made it out, she was like, man, Slim talked too much. She got us caught up in that customs thing. That's how me and Jada started talking about everything that Slim had said. Right. Because we both were mad about it. Everybody was mad. So like I said before, I always felt Slim was fake. I just needed proof. So the any little bit of proof that I got, I was using it. Like I was using it. So no, she didn't say enough about me. I was telling Lo what she said off the flip because Lo was on the same thing I was on. She was like, man, I know she's fake. I just need some proof. So I'm like, look, Lo, she said this about you. She said this about me. But I was telling Lo, wait till she get out the shower and talk to her. Lo was like, no, I'm finna go talk to her now. And I'm like, well, damn, shit. Well, come on.
Okay.
And Slim nasty ass left the house while she was in the shower and left a dirty tampon in the shower and it ran everywhere with her nasty self. Yeah, I said it.
Lord Jesus. Do you think y'all bullied Alex?
No way.
Okay.
Not at all.
Do y'all think y'all bullied Delilah?
No, Delilah was racist. I don't care what nobody says. She said some very racial comments and that.
Okay.
Nah, she didn't get bullied at all. I should have went Ferguson on her.
Can you give an example of one of her racist comments?
she was just like, I don't want to go to this ghetto club. I don't want to go with all them type of people. Uh, I don't like that music. I don't want to be around them or those kind of people. You just had to hear the stuff she was saying. It was so much stuff being said that as much as all the girls in the house didn't, everybody had their little issue with each other and didn't care for each other. For some reason, everybody teamed up and was like, hey, look, she gotta go.
Okay. Did you find it weird how Alex had approached Delilah with some intensity and was like, get in the jacuzzi, get your ass in the motherfucking jacuzzi? Did it seem weird that Alex was
No, honestly, it didn't. When a fake person does something, it doesn't shock you. It's like, oh, okay, there you go. Look at you go. You know,
Okay.
she already had fake traits, so it wasn't. I didn't think that it was a shock. It was funny. You know what I'm saying? It was a joke
Okay.
because I watched Slim come in the house, and I watched Red say, "Where the fuck you been?" Like talk bad to her, and she was scared. You know, she was scared of Red. So
I got
I
you.
watched it.
I got you. What was the difference between Britt hitting Delilah and Lauren throwing stuff at Delilah and kicking Delilah out the house? Well, you and I think it was Lauren wanting to get Delilah out the house because a lot of people wanted to know why on screen you and Lauren were just like, oh, Britt shouldn't have did that, Britt shouldn't have did that, but then the next episode y'all are kicking her out. So people were confused about that.
Hey, look, on some real stuff, we played rock paper scissors about who was gonna fight Delilah. Britt won. They didn't show that either. Me, Lo, and Britt played that. On some real stuff, when Britt had to go home, production said to Britt, they was like, the person that was on duty was like, hey, Blue said, now that's how you fight. Blue said, there's no way to fight. If you're gonna fight, fight hard. So I wasn't upset with Britt for doing that. However, I did say, uh, damn, she ain't had to like beat her ass, but I understand that if you fighting somebody, they don't have like Diamond and Asia. Diamond could have hit Asia once. Not everybody, once you fight, it clicks. Nothing tells you to stop. You just gone. That's how you know I wasn't fighting Jada. It didn't click for me. I just hit her and drug her away. You get what I'm saying?
Mm,
Some people can't control their temper. And Britt couldn't control that temper. She did beat the hell out of him, but you don't fight too hard. She did what she was supposed to do. She beat her ass, you know what I'm saying? However, they also didn't show. I looked at Britt. Britt was like, man, I think I might go home. And I said, no, you are going home, so do what you gotta do. You said you was gonna do this before you left. Cause she wanted to fight Jada so bad. I'm letting her know, like, you're gonna go home because you use too much force. But if you're gonna fight Jada, then do what you gotta do.
mm.
So that's how I felt about the whole thing. Do I feel like I didn't want Britt to fight that hard? I wanted her just to slap her because I wanted Britt to stay. Britt was a good friend of mine in the house, so I didn't want her to fight too hard and go home.
Okay. Do you think that you were 100% Jonica on the show?
Yeah, I was. That's why if people don't like me, it doesn't faze me because I was myself. And if you can't um, differentiate a show, editing, you know what I'm saying, versus getting to know me, then we don't need to be cool anyways. I'd rather have two loyal followers than to have 30,000 ones that's on the fence about me. And that's real.
Got you. I feel the same way about what I do, and so I definitely understand you. Just got a few more questions, and I'll let you get back to your day.
All
Did
right.
did you ever tell Asia that you would be in a relationship with her ever and would leave Diamond for her?
Probably did.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably did. Why wouldn't I? I'm laying with her. She right there. I probably did say that. I know that I told her that I'll be in a relationship with her. I know at the reunion, me and Asia talked prior. Me and Diamond wasn't cool. We were talking about like working on things. Me and Asia just talked July. Me and Asia talked July 9th. That's why I don't understand why Asia has all this hate for me. The only thing I can think of is that I got in a relationship and that's where her hate for me come from. But we was just talking July 9th about me coming to her new apartment with her.
Okay.
That's so all of a sudden she bashing me. Like I say, I'll never bash Asia. My love for Asia is always there. Asia could never say I played her. She had a boyfriend the whole time. So yeah, she was crying in Barcelona, but she had a boyfriend.
Gotcha.
And that's at the end of the day, you were in a relationship.
Right.
But it is what it is.
I got you. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions about the reunion, and then some post questions, and then that'll be it. Do you think Tanisha had favorites at the reunion?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Tanisha, and that's not a bad thing, because one of her favorites was Jada.
Yeah, that was obvious. That was definitely obvious.
Jada was one of her favorites. So, and it's funny, they didn't show this either. After Jada jumped in a little fight thing with Diamond or whatever, and after I got involved and I sat down, Tanisha was like, I didn't know that this season do that. She was like, I didn't know. She said, that just shocked me that Jada just jumped in. I didn't think she was that type. And I'm like, look, I said, no disrespect, but ain't nobody finna jump. Not neither one of mine. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna happen. If they want to fight one-on-one, they can do that, but they ain't no jumping going on. And she was like, Blue, I don't blame you. That's what Tisha said. Blue, I don't blame you, because that shocked me. She was shocked that Jada did that. Jada was one of her favorites, so that shocked her.
After that situation happened with Asia, Diamond, and Jada and yourself, it seemed like jumping went out the window and everybody wanted to get a piece of somebody when fights would break out. Why do you think that is? Do you think that it was because Jada opened up that can of worms, or like how do you feel about it?
I feel like everybody had issues, and wasn't no swinging going on for real. Like it looked like what it looked like that, but if somebody said to me, "Oh, Blue, you jump, Jay, you jump, y'all." Hey, I threw one punch the whole time at the reunion. That was the one I connected. That's it. I threw one punch. I might have threw two. I might have boom, boom. But I know I threw one, and that's the one that connected her eye, and that's it. I didn't fight the rest of those big crowd and jump-ins. Nah, but this is what Jada do. Jada got a mouth on her. And for her to be so old, so much older, I would expect her to learn to control it. But, you know, she got a mouth on her. Even when I was holding her, she was like, stupid bitch, da-da-da, you know, cussing at me. And I didn't say nothing. I just was holding her, and I told security, I said, I'll let her go when y'all get Diamond off the stage. Simple as that. I don't do all that cussing and all that talking. That means nothing. So when Jada getting her issue with her situation with Britch, Jada would yell, I'll fight all y'all. People already don't like you, so you calling them out. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll fight all y'all. I don't care. Like, like you calling them out, so of course they gonna jump up like I don't like you either. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
okay. Some of the bad girls that I've spoken to think that you worked for the producers on the show. What do you have to say about that?
Shit. With what money? Man, I don't work for free, man. I took a pay cut going on this show, to be honest. So, nah, I really don't. If I did, I was, they picked me to try out for season 13, so if I worked for them, wouldn't I have got picked?
Okay.
They knew I didn't. I thought they paid Red to be there. Swear up and down, they paid Red to be in the house. But
okay.
You know.
Okay. How was your relationship with your mom?
That's my best friend.
Okay.
Her and my dad. People don't talk about my dad a lot because he wasn't a factor on the show. That just goes to show you. I'm a daddy's girl. I'm his only daughter of 7 kids, and I'm his oldest. I'm the only one he didn't take a blood test for. So,
hot mess. So you and mom's are good. Y'all are fine. She's okay. More and more with your whole lifestyle and the way that you are. Has she met Jen? Do they get along?
Hey, I'm a very private person. So going on this TV show, that was all new for me. I'm very private with my personal life.
Okay.
So like, I don't know if she knows I have a girlfriend. My mom never knew if I had a boyfriend. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's why it wasn't so much of, oh, Blue, how you gonna be so real and grown, but you can't tell your mom about your sexuality? I don't talk to her about that. You get? I don't. That was never what I did. I never hid anything. The way I am, like if I take a boyfriend around my family, we don't be holding hands and kissing and oh baby, oh sugar tips. You know, we don't do all that shit. We just, I'm a family oriented person, so we all just be together chilling. If I take a girl around, we do the same thing. I don't treat them no different. But I just never been the type to be like, oh, this is my boyfriend and or this is my girlfriend. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
But she know. You get like my mom shocked me. Like she didn't shock me. My mom is a Virgo. Read up on Virgos and you will understand.
Right.
But she like, oh, not only is one of my daughters gay, but or bi, but both of them. I'm like, girl, you knew. You know, a mother knows their child.
Right.
You do. Her and my sister talk more on that level. So my sister did sit her down and say, hey, Ma, I like girls. I never did that. And I never will. It's not that I didn't send them an email. I was at my grandma's house. And my granny was like, she flat out asked me, she was like, Jonathan, you know, are you gay? And I was like, no, Granny, I ain't gay. I like men. I'm bi, I like men and women. It was a very comfortable conversation. It wasn't like a, well, Granny, let me hold your hand and tell you about my life. No, it was like, no, Granny. She asked me and I gave her answer.
Right, right.
So then after I left my granny house, this was the day before the show came on. After I left my granny house, I text my dad and my mom. I text both of them. I said, hey, just left granny's. She asked me, did I talk to women? And I was like, so just in case, I was like, I really thought that you all kind of knew. But to keep it clear, I do. It's going to be on the show. I was dating a female on the show. And just throwing that out there. I didn't send that off for acceptance because I know my family going to accept me regardless. I sent that out there just in case you don't know here. I'm telling you, it is going to be on TV tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. I can respect that. And just to add on to that, I feel the same way. I've never came out and said, hey, Mom, I'm gay, or hey, Mom, this is what it is. I just live. So I completely understand what you're talking about. So, but some people that are watching don't get it. So that's why I'm asking the question.
Right.
You're still with Jen. Hi,
Yes.
Jen.
Now with
Do you ever think that you would get married to a female? And do you think that you want kids in the future?
You know, that's one thing that I think every female will have to risk dating with me. When I date a man, I see house, kids, picket fence, you know, whatever, fish, ant farm, with all the bullshit that come with families.
Right.
When I date a woman, I don't. You're dating me. We're walking down a dark tunnel together. I don't know how far we gonna go, baby, but you know, feel free to walk with me. And I'm gonna do the best I can as to walking down here. I cannot tell you I see these things because I don't see it, and I'm not gonna lie and make you think I do see it. I don't see marriage with the woman, but I'm not saying that can't happen. If we're walking together and we bump into marriage, then we bump into marriage. You know, that I don't see. It's like dark with me when I date women. However, I can see this is the possibilities of being with a man.
Okay.
But it doesn't stop me from dating. If I like you, I date you, and I just take it from there.
What are your feelings about the girls in the house? Do you talk to anybody except for, I know you still keep in contact with Lauren?
Yeah.
But have you tried to reach out to Alex, Asia, Jada, Delilah, Britt, Red?
Breaking it down, like I said, me and Asia talked July 9th. We was cool. I did do some scan shit. Like, shit, I told her, yeah, I'll come to Houston and stay with her and visit her. And she like, I love you too. She wrote me a lot of stuff about her family problems, and I'm giving her advice, boom, boom, boom. And probably like 2 weeks later, I popped up in a relationship with Jen. So once again, her feelings overpowered. As you can see, Asia the type, her feelings overpower everything. That's why after the fight with her and Diamond, and she came out and she was like, Jada was the one that was most real to me in the house. Your feelings are talking for you because clearly you wouldn't have made it in the house without me, bottom line. And I'm not asking for a cookie. I did that because I genuinely care about you. And that's real. When Jada and when Jada and Lo got in a fight, um, if you the last fight they got in, if you notice, me and Asia wasn't there. Me and Asia wasn't cool because that's when she told Diamond Friend all that stuff and all that, that big thing happened. If you notice, me and Asia missed the fight. That's because Asia couldn't drive, but I could. I went in the room and I'm like, "Are you hungry?" And she was like, "Yeah." I said, "Come on, I'll take you to get something to eat." So I took her to get something to eat, and that just shows you that once again, that's my loyalty. I might not, we not cool right now, but I know you want something to eat. There's nothing to eat in the house.
Okay.
So that's my relationship with Asia. Like, I always was there for her. I'm still there for her. I be hearing the stuff she said about me. She did a booking the other day and somebody said something blue. She like, F blue. I'm like, man, you out here getting money, but you bashing me. People asked me the other day, you still talk to Asia? I did a booking last night. You still talk to Asia? They like, how she doing? I'm like, she doing good. I would never speak bad on her because I loved her. You get what I'm saying? So I would never downplay her. She tried to bash me, but if I want to bash you, I know a lot about your family from what you told me. I'm just not that type of person.
Right.
So that's how it is with Asia. As far as Jada goes, we don't talk either. While she was in the redemption house, Red was emailing me and Red was emailing back and forth. And she was like, Jada said, hey. I was like, tell her what's up. So it was never no beef. After that whole fight at the reunion, after everything, I went up in a room and I was like, look, Jada, I'm apologizing because I didn't want to hurt anybody. I understand that I hurt you. Her eye was big. Like her eye was big. It was like purple or something. Somebody sent me a picture of it today. They got a picture of her eye after I hit her. But she was like, yeah, I got jumped. I'm like, nah, baby, you ain't get jumped. It was just me. But, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, we talked. She was like, I was like, you jumped in that fight, blah, blah, blah. She was like, you right, man. I don't know why I jumped in. And she was like, I was trying to break it up because Asia wasn't fighting back. I was just looking out for my friend. I'm like, it's all good. I just want you to know I wasn't mad at you. I was mad at anybody that tried to jump in that fight. That's what that was. I was like, I didn't come to fight you. That was what it was. I never had an issue with Jada. I think she's musically talented. I wish the best for her. And that's bottom line how I feel about Jada. I don't have an issue with her. But, of course she probably feels some type of way about me. And who else in now? Slim always been a little bitch to me. She's just a little bitch. Slim called me, Slim emailed me right after, like, I want to say in like November or something. Blue, I just really want to talk to you. Asked Diamond because she called me. So I finally hit her up. I'm like, what's up, Slim? I just want to let you know that I said some things about you and I apologize. And I said, hey, Slim, why are we talking about this? Because I'm going to have to talk about it again when it airs. So what are you calling me for? She said, I just want to let you know that I did say some things. I'm talking about blew my email up to tell me this, so we can talk, to clear herself before it airs on TV. And then Slim thought me and her was getting a booking together. She called and told Diamond, I'm scared. You think Blue's going to try to fight me? Slim, I wouldn't even fight you. I'll slap your little ass. Like, Slim just a little bitch, that's why I pushed her in the house. People think, oh, were you being a bully when you pushed Slim? I wasn't being a bully. I was calling Slim a bitch. So I wanted to prove why she was. Well, Wes, what I do now? what I do this time?
Hot mess.
You told me to break down my relationship with all of them. I'm just breaking it down one by one.
Listen, I hear you. That's why I'm laughing. I hear you because I'm here. I'm here with you. I can understand what you're saying. That's why I'm just go ahead. Okay.
I mean, I'm just keeping it funky with you. So that's why I pushed her. Everybody like, why you push? I pushed her twice. I'm like, look, y'all, I told y'all she's a bitch. Look, watch this. You a bitch. Look, you a bitch. So that's why I did it, to show that you took the place of somebody else being in this house. Someone else could have really been in this house.
I got you.
And we let you stay here the whole time. So get out. So that's why that'll happen like that. So, but I don't have an issue with Slim. I just I wouldn't want to do nothing with her. I don't want her bitch assness to rub off on me. So that's how I feel about her. Brit, like I said, I feel like they didn't show a lot about. They didn't show Brit's sweet side enough for me. Brit has a very big heart. It did look like all she wanted to do was fight, but she has a very sensitive side. Like I said, she the ringleader of her family, so they just didn't show. They should have showed her more talking about her boyfriend and her family and her sister and all that stuff. So as far as Red goes, I still feel like Red is an actress. They was hitting me up the other day saying Red, I guess just started talking about me out of nowhere, like on Twitter, putting up a screenshot. I guess on the screenshot, I told her Asia shaded her, so make sure she don't be too nice to Asia. And what it was is we had to do a thing for Oxygen, and they wanted us to describe each girl in one word. Well, I was cool with Asia at the time, and I was cool with Lo, Britt, and Red. I wasn't cool with, I wasn't talking to Jada, and I wasn't conversing with Slim, obviously. But I knew what Asia had put for everybody. Asia knew what I put for everybody, so that's what that was. Well, despite how cool Asia played it with Red, Asia still didn't care for Red because Red embarrassed her on national television. Red disrespected her and talked bad to her. So Asia said something. Asia, one word for Red was still like, I think it was actress or something like that, or fake, bully or something to that nature. So I was telling Red, I'm like, because she fake. Red is an actress. So I'm like, hey, look, don't try to act like you cool with Asia. I'm letting you know she shaded you on her answer. So don't be too nice back to her because I was cool with Red. Y'all make it seem like, if you was a true friend of Red, I was a friend of Red. So I'm letting you know, hey, this girl, I'm cool with Asia. I talk to Asia. I'm letting you know the one word she put for you is not a nice one. So basically, don't be too nice. You an actress. Don't try to act like you want to be nice to her today because she not nice to you. So that's how that happened. It wasn't that I was against Asia or against Red. It was that I was cool with two people. I was cool with two people. So, I had to let them know, like, hey, don't be too nice. But Red is an actress. I entertain Red. Red say all kind of stuff on St. Louis. And if you want to get down, and we can really get down off camera. But don't nobody want no action for real. That's their real life action. I'm not trying to fight these girls. That's why I didn't entertain Red Twitter beef with me. Red had Twitter beef by herself. If you notice, I turned around and wrote, hey, I'm doing a grades challenge. Whoever get the best grades, I'll personally fly to where you at and come eat lunch with you. Just to show y'all kids, y'all youngins, that I'm not entertaining BS. I'm over here. School just started. Let's work on these grades. Let's do something that means something. Let's empower ourselves. Let's motivate each other versus talking about a show that's over that nobody really want any action on. So that's just the difference of my mature level versus that. Red can bash me all day. I don't know why, but have that. Of course, me and Lo cool. Me and Lo gonna always be cool. I love her like family. Bottom line, I don't even know who else was in the house. Is that it?
Lila and Lindsay.
Oh, Raisha.
And Raisha, yeah.
Raisha Lo cousin, so she just cool.
Right.
And Lindsay, I don't know her. I don't know Lindsay, so I don't know anything to say about her. Delilah, I just think she's just a sad individual. I really don't have anything to say about Delilah.
It seemed like Delilah was drunk boots on that reunion. Was she on something?
Hey, on some real stuff, let me show you how fake it is. Delilah went and sat over there with Asia and Jada. And I guess she whispered in Asia's ear, I'm not really trying to hug her. I want to fight her. So you gonna hear Asia say, no, Britt, come. She really want to hug you, Britt. She want to hug you. Because Asia knew that she was gonna fight her. You know what I'm saying? That's that fake stuff. So Asia knew that she was going over there to try to swing off on Britt. Man, Delilah can't do nothing with Britt. She can't. What you gonna do? That was a joke. Britt didn't even want to fight her. Britt knows she beat her ass so bad the first time that she was just holding her off of her. Like, girl, get on, little girl, move. So, little girl. But that was some, Asia pulled that fake shit. I told Asia, if you bad, I said, if you want to get your credibility back and build your character back for national television, you need to walk on a reunion and fight Red. She disrespected you so bad. If I watch somebody disrespect me on TV like that, I'm getting at you. I don't care if I see you in church, Walmart, pool pit, the swimming pool. We fighting. Bottom line, because you disrespected me. That's the only thing a person can fight for is their respect.
Okay, I feel you. And my last question for you is, what do you have to say to the kids that watch Bad Girls Club, reality TV, the Jocelyn Hernandezes of the world,
Right.
all the stuff that's out here, the Love and Hip Hop Hollywoods and all that. Kids really, really hone in to y'all on TV, and they watch y'all and they study y'all and they want to be like y'all one day when they grow up. What do you have to say to the kids?
Honestly, I don't have anything to say to the kids. I have something to say to all those reality stars and by default role models, which is myself, the Hernandez, Red, Natalie, Nene, everybody, all the rappers, all the athletes. We might not choose to be a role model, but once you're a public figure, you are. So with that being said, and even if you got 15 minutes of fame or 10 minutes of fame, this BGC stuff died down within seconds. But while I do have a voice, then why not gear them in a positive direction? I'm a mentor before I'm anything else. I might play, I might have fun, but I'm a mentor. I like to push. All throughout high school, I talked to a lot of kids how to not commit suicide. I've talked to battered women. I've talked to people battling their sexuality. Just a lot. So I don't have anything to say to the kids because they are kids that are looking up to people who they think have money and have everything, have the looks. If you look at my Instagram, I put pictures. Right now, I don't have any makeup. I put no makeup. I'm just natural because I try to show them that this is the real me. And it's not just me. Rihanna has a real life. Beyonce, all the people you look up to have real lives. So don't look up to what is presented. Don't look up to these fake ass Instagram lives. Look up to the real lives. And if you know that you're a public figure, then use your voice. Use your voice and motivate kids. So Red has a voice. Red has a large following. Don't use your voice dissing Blue. Who is Blue? Don't use your voice for that. Use your voice and motivate the people that's following you. I don't care if my fans, it's a lot of fans that don't like me, or a lot of Red fans that don't like me. Don't like me, but get good grades. Be something better than me. If you think I'm fake, go get good grades. Like, anybody can say anything they want about me, but I went to school.
Girl, you are a hot mess. I love it. I love it.
Hey man, it's just real. It's like don't fucking wasting their voice putting up screenshots. Don't put up screenshots. Put up your fan grades. I put up my fan grades. My fans get good grades. Let's have a fan off. I bet all my fans. I bet Blue Mob get way better grades than any other cast fans on my cast. Now, them the type of challenges I want. They want to fight, and you fake, and you this, and you a hoe. I bet Blue Mob get better grades than the rest of y'all. And that's bottom line. Those are the competitions I'm with.
All right. She done put it out there. That's very interesting. And I lied. I got one more question. Do you talk to any other girls from any other BGC season besides Jen? Are you cool with Natalie Nunn? Are you cool with Sarah Oliver? Are you cool with Paula?
I met Paula. I really like her. She was cool. She was very cool. But no, I don't talk to any of them. Me and Tanisha text here and there on some cool stuff.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I'm not I'm a friendly person, but I don't make friends. I feel like we're all put into this group. Just because we're all bad girls don't mean we all act alike or we all need to be friends. Me and Rocky was cool for a minute. We had exchanged numbers back when she came to St. Louis. But it wasn't on nothing like that, just on some cool stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm like, it ain't nothing against any of them. I just feel like we don't have to be friends.
Okay.
If I see them, if I go to their city, they show me love. You know what I'm saying? Like I met, I do. Lucci cool. Erica.
Right,
yeah,
Erica.
I did meet her. She hit me up one day. We talked for about an hour. She real cool.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to take this moment to appreciate you and thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this interview. I think it definitely answered a lot of questions for the Blue Mob and the people that watch the show. And that's why I like doing these interviews with you girls. And that's why I like doing the interview, not as the character Mona Simone, but as myself, to really dumb it down and really bring some realness to reality TV. And allow you guys to express yourselves. So I really do appreciate it.
Well, I want to say, for the people that don't like me, bruh, y'all don't have to come tell me you don't like me. Just don't like me over there. Like, I don't understand. Like, why waste your time? Don't waste your time on the negative things. Go put your energy into the positive. Don't tell the person you don't like them. Go tell the people you like them.
Right.
That's just, don't waste your time on negative stuff. And that's how I feel about that. And to the people that keep saying I'm a hoe, what's the definition of a hoe? So think about that before you say I'm one. I don't have sex with nobody for real. I'm damn near proved, to be very honest. But if a hoe is somebody that talks to a lot of people, then yeah, I'm a hoe.
Right. I say the same shit because I'm very flirtatious. I talk to a lot of people. I'm just nice. I'm nice. That's who I am. So because I smile at you don't mean we fucking tonight. I mean, at the end of the day,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I vibe with you quite a few moments in this interview. So yeah. Real recognized, real. I respect that.
That is, well, I appreciate meeting you. If you ever want to do something else, I'll rock out with you. So I'm not hard to get in contact with.
No doubt. Well, once again, thank you so much. Y'all heard it here first, okay? Y'all got all the juice, all the specifics that y'all needed to get. Definitely leave comments below this video. Definitely hit her up on her social media network, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And share this video.